There she is. I am Emily Burgess, and I am so excited for this call. I also am nervous about this call. I'm not a good teacher. So that's one thing to know. Like, you don't have to be skilled and excellent in every area to do well in this business. And so I'm coming to you with my heart kind of racing a little bit. My children upstairs giving my husband a hard time, so they may be coming down in a minute in tears. I'm just a mom who is here. I'm excited to share a little bit of my story with you and to share some of the things that I have seen personally help me grow in my business with Plexus and what I've seen people around me, whether it's people on our team, whether it's people next to me and other teams. Pretty much there's a common denominator of what people have done to see success in their business. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your night tonight to be with me, to be with this team. I assume that if you are here, you are connected on our team and you have some curiosity about what this opportunity could look like. Or maybe you have somebody that has said, Elaine, I think you'd be amazing at this business. You should come and hear. This is a super casual event tonight. Everyone here is on our team. So this is a safe space. There's room for question and answer. I'm actually going to open up my chat right now. So if you guys have any questions and you don't want to unmute yourself, feel free to put them in the chat and I will read those and I will try to answer them. But like I said, this is a super casual, super safe place where you can ask any question and I will do my best to answer them. But first, I want to share a tiny bit of my story with you because I think that stories are really inspirational. I think for me, stories is what got me started with Plexus, got me curious about Plexus. And so I hope that you can resonate, or you might know someone who could resonate a little bit with my story. I live in Boise, Idaho, but I went to college in Arkansas. Raise your hand if you are in Arkansas. Yep. Many of our team is from Arkansas, and that makes my heart so happy. I went to Ouachita Baptist University, and where was I going with that? I don't know where I was going with that. I just knew for sure somebody would be here from Arkansas. Anyways, actually, I know where I was going with that. Very important, actually. So I went to college with a girl from Arkansas, and we were kind of friends. We knew each other. And then about 15 years after college, I had gotten married, moved away. She messaged me out of the blue and asked me if I'd be interested to hear a little bit about this product that she was taking that was helping her lose some weight. I assumed in my mind, I put together, okay, this girl is taking a product and she's losing weight. Definitely it's a weight loss scam. Like, I am not about to put anything like that into my body. I'm not interested. I was not one that was able to use supplements regularly. I would get a small excitement of getting healthy and I'd run to Walmart and I'd buy a thing of women's vitamins and then they would sit on my counter for 3 years. I would go to the grocery store and I would buy lots of veggies and just feel really motivated, and then 2 weeks later they were like molding in my in my refrigerator. And so that was just kind of like my story. Like, I wanted to be healthy, but I just didn't have that discipline, or I didn't have that desire, didn't have that craving, whatever. And so when she reached out to me, I was not at all interested. Said thanks, no thanks, if I even responded. I can't remember if I did. Well, then a few months later, she messaged me again and she asked if she could get my address. Didn't know what she was doing, but I sent her my address. And then a few days later, I got a package in the mail. It had a couple of magazines in it specific to Plexus and network marketing and just kind of the business opportunity with Plexus. It had 3 sticks of Slim, and it had a really beautiful handwritten card. I was very touched by the card. She spent a lot of time. It wasn't just like in huge font, like, hi, Em. It was like an intentional top and bottom of this card talking about these qualities that she saw in me that she believed would do well with this business. I was very touched, but I threw it in the trash because I wasn't interested. Didn't even try the samples of the Plexus Slim, the pink drink. I threw those in the trash as well, because if you remember, in my mind, it was a weight loss scheme. I started to see more and more people sharing about Plexus that I had gone to college with. More and more people were starting to share, about their weight loss that they were seeing, but they were also starting to share about other things that they were seeing. So I was like, this is crazy. Who are these people? There's no way that this one product or this one product line can be helping all of these ailments. And so I was just really skeptical, rolled my eyes, wasn't interested. I do not like to be sold to, and I felt like, well, these people are probably just wanting to make money off of me. They don't actually mean what they're saying. And so for 4 years, I was just totally uninterested. My friend Tamara, that I was just telling you about, she would follow up with me occasionally, and I would probably not respond. There were times that I wouldn't respond for 18 months, not interested. But there was this slight curiosity. I wasn't looking and I wasn't interested, but I would see these people pop up with their stories. And I had just had my second child. I was exhausted all of the time. Even though I was so exhausted during the day, I could not sleep at night. I could not lose my baby weight. I was so addicted to peanut butter and chocolate chips. I would eat those by the spoonful multiple times a day. I was attached to the coffee pot. I just didn't feel like I expected I would feel as a mom. Like I had all these dreams of growing up and what it would look like for me to be a wife and a mom. And I was not living that because I was just tired and I was living in some insecurities in the way that my body was looking. And so in October of 2016, I reached out to multiple people and said, listen, I might be curious to try Plexus, but I'm going to be honest with you. If I were to do it with you, or if I were to do it, I'm not going to do it with you. I'm going to do it with Tamara. So you can be honest with me. Is this actually what you guys say it is? Like, do you actually believe what you say? No, I'm not going to support you in this. Like, I'm not going to buy from you. So you can totally be honest with me. And every single person was like, absolutely. It is absolutely life-changing what you see with these products with yourself and with so many other people. So that kind of gave me that encouragement that they weren't just trying to make money off of me. And so I reached back out to Tamara, that same girl that sent me those samples, and she ended up sending me 2 months worth of the triplex for free. Raise your hand if you're on the triplex or if you've tried the triplex before. Awesome. It's so, so good. Well, I say that she gave it to me because, one, I was so skeptical, but two, we were really, really tight financially. We had gotten married. I had been with a missions, like a ministry. I was a ministry director before we got married. I quit that because it was too hard to do ministry full time being married. Anyways, we didn't have any money. We got pregnant like 2 seconds after we got married, did not have insurance. I mean, it was a hot mess. We had no money. And so we didn't have anything extra for me to be able to go and purchase the triplex. And I was still super skeptical. Well, she believed in me so much, and she believed in the products so much that she gifted me 2 months worth of the triplex. And that was so moving to me. That really built my belief in myself because she believed in me, and it really built my belief in the products. And so I started on the products with just this hopeful anticipation of, I'm going to do this for 2 months quietly, secretively, because I'm not going to be one of those girls. I'm going to lose 40 pounds. I'm going to look real good in my tight jeans, and then I'll never have to say the word Plexus again. Well, that didn't happen. I didn't lose 40 pounds in 2 months, but what I did start to see was really encouraging to me. I really liked it. Like, I was starting to feel less bloated. I was starting to have way less sugar cravings. I didn't want my peanut butter and chocolate chip spoons. I was starting to sleep better. I was starting to use the restroom on a regular basis and not feel as gassy. I didn't notice the stomach pains after every time I would eat red meat. I started to notice more energy. I started to notice some small victories. And at the end of my 2-month free trial that she gave me, I remember thinking, oh gosh, what do I do? Like, do I spend money that we don't have and maybe pursue this? Because I knew that if I were to continue with the Plexus products, purchasing them myself, I knew that I was going to have to get my products paid for. Because like I said, we were so tight financially. Or am I just going to go back to feeling the way that I'd felt? And so my husband and I spent an entire month, December of 2016, praying over this decision because it was a really, really big decision for me. It was something that I had pushed away for 4 years, and I care so much about people and I care so much about relationships. I didn't want people to see me at church and run the other way. I didn't want people to think I was only befriending them for my business benefit. I didn't want people, like, I was just so worried about what other people would think because I saw it done and I didn't really like the way that I had seen it, not from Tamara, but from a lot of other people. And I didn't want to be that way. And so my husband and I, we wrote a pro and con list. We literally prayed for an entire month over God just giving me a peace. And it was kind of a crazy situation because it's like I knew that I was supposed to do it, but I was super resistant because it was very scary and it was very, very uncomfortable. But like I said, I had that little stirring in my soul, and I was just thinking, like, I'm sitting on a gold mine because I watched my friend Tamra go from being a personal mystery shopper for like Arby's and Papa John's Pizza, making $25 to $40 a pop, to she was one of the top earners within Plexus, and she got a free Lexus and was able to build a dream home and a dream neighborhood. She was able to give money to, like, a, I always say this wrong, but like a sex trafficking protective home. She was able to pay for her parents surgeries that they were not able to afford themselves. Like, I saw her doing things financially that would not have been the case years ago. So I knew that I was sitting on a gold mine with the opportunity, and I knew that the products were changing people's lives. So it was kind of like a pride thing for me of like, okay, I need to like lay down my pride because this is something that can help so many people and it can really help our family. And so actually, 5 years from tomorrow is my 5-year anniversary. January 13th, I signed up to do Plexus. And the thing is, I loved the products, and I was very hopeful and excited to see what was going to happen for me in my body, in my health, over the next 6 months, 12 months, whatever. But really, I was really nervous, but really, really excited on what the business was going to do for our family. I was tired of cutting corners. I had a whole list with my husband of all these goals because before this, like, our goals were so far off, and what we were doing was never going to get us to those goals, if that makes sense. So I knew, like, well, this could be the avenue that allows us to get our girls into sports and into extracurricular activities and into dance. This could be the avenue that allows me to stay home with my children. This could be the avenue that allows us to give to missionaries that we feel very passionate about, but right now we can't do that. This could allow us to pay it forward to the family right next to us at the restaurant, something that we always hoped people would do for us because we had no money. Like, it just opened up excuse me. It just kind of opened up this excitement of like, what if? A huge what if for me. Why I started my business was because I wanted to allow my husband to quit his job that he liked, but he didn't love, he wasn't thriving in. And I wanted to be able to buy a home in our dream neighborhood where my children could go to school where I went. That's just around the corner from my parents' house. And I wanted to be able to provide a trip for my family to go overseas and do a missions trip. And so I want to tell you right here, right now, I'm sitting in my home that's in that dream neighborhood. My children are going to the school that I went to. My parents live right around the corner. In June of this last year, my husband was able to quit his job and has been pursuing his heart's desire with writing stories about Jesus. And this summer, my family is going on a mission trip to England to go and serve at a missionary bed and breakfast. None of that would have been possible with where we were before Plexus. And so I hope that that gives you a little bit of an excitement, and I hope that you connect in hearing you can love people and you can do this in a way where people don't run away from you. You can do this in an honorable way. You can do this in a way that protects relationships and helps people, but also is helping you reach those really big goals. And so I'm going to kind of lay out right here some of the things that I highly encourage every single person to do when they're starting up their Plexus business and continue to do. I'm going to pull up my notes here. So, excuse me. What I want you guys to do right now is I want you to write down this quote, which I absolutely love. What would you get uncomfortable for? I want you to write that down, and I want you to put that somewhere where you will see it every day, whether that's on a sticky note in your car or on your mirror with a washable marker. Write down, what would you get uncomfortable for? Because here's the thing, this is not super comfortable. I was talking with my husband yesterday, last night actually, and we were talking through just hard things and like working towards things and it being hard. And one of my favorite quotes, and I say this to our team all the time, is from John Maxwell, and he says, anything worthwhile is uphill. So I want you to know that going into this. This is not a lottery ticket. I don't want people to think, oh, well, I can just sit here and make a post, and next thing you know, I'm going to be bringing in $25,000 a month. That's not how it works. Like, this is a hard job, but it is a beautiful job, and it is a fulfilling job. And there's a reason why you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people within Plexus who have reached the top of the company. It's hard, but it is dang worth it. And it is so fulfilling because if you allow yourself, you will grow so much personally, mentally, spiritually. You will remember where your worth is found. If you are a believer, like, you will remember your worth is found in Jesus and no one else. You will have fulfillment when you get a message from your friend that says, oh my gosh, I'm standing in line to get half of my prescription for my anxiety and depression medication. I need to go and tell everybody about this. You will feel fulfillment when you have a friend of yours come and say, my child is going to the bathroom now unassisted. That is huge. You will have fulfillment when you go and take your high A1C numbers, or your customer takes their high A1C numbers to their doctor and their numbers are now in the normal range. There is such fulfillment in helping people. But know that this is hard because you are helping people and you are having to get uncomfortable. So always go back to that quote of what would you get uncomfortable for? That's really, really important. The next thing is just really honing in on, why are you doing this? For me, I listed out all of the things. Well, I say all. I listed out a few of the things that I started with this business. That home, getting my husband out of his job, getting my kids into sports, being able to give more, that missions trip. I want you to dream specific here. I don't want you to just say, oh, I'd like a little bit of shopping money, or, oh, I'd like to be a little bit less stressed financially. Get specific. What would that look like if you were to make $300 a month extra? Or what would it look like if you were to make $1,500 extra a month? What about $20,000 extra a month? None of that stuff is absurd. Every single, like, those points that I just listed out, I know somebody in our team that's making at least those points. So that's not absurd, but I want you to dream. What would that look like? What would that mean for your family if you were to get to a place where you are having a little bit more financial freedom? And I want you to write that out. I encourage you, if you are married, I encourage you to dream with your spouse. Write out some specifics of what it would look like for you and your family if you got to that place where you had a little bit more coming in. Those whys, those reasons of why you're doing this are going to fuel you on the hard days. Because here's the thing, if you don't have a strong why, when somebody quits or when somebody cancels, or if somebody says something nasty and snarky on social media, if you don't have a why that you are really holding on to, if you don't have that belief in what you're doing, that is going to derail you. And so it's super, super important to have that as your core foundation. The next thing, let me see if there's anybody that's asking questions. Sorry, I've got my chat hidden. Feel free to unmute yourself if you do have a question here. The next thing after establishing your why, and I'm assuming that you are communicating with the person that has sponsored you. Don't do this alone. Don't be on an island by yourself. That is one of the most beautiful parts of our team. Is I don't think I've ever seen a team of women, specifically, we do have some men here, but mainly women. I have never seen a team of women rally together, love one another as deep as I have seen with our team. It's beautiful. So do not do this alone. I'm assuming you are communicating with your sponsor. Hey, listen, Allison, I want to do this. Like I am committed. Here are my whys. Here are the things that I'm really excited about. Here's some of my goals. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. So that's very, very important there. The next thing I'm going to encourage you to do is you need to share about it. So I think women are really natural. It comes natural to us to share. If we found a great recipe, if we have a great restaurant we found, or a really good sale at whatever, Target, if you have found a great park and you've got some women in the city that maybe don't know about it, like I think it comes very natural to us to share the things that we love. So get comfortable with this. If you're brand new and you don't have a story with Plexus, that's okay. That's absolutely fine. But there are a lot of us that do. And so you can start building that belief. You can start building that passion, building that excitement as you are learning more about people's stories, because again, is going to fuel you to go and share. So let's say Catherine, let's say that she's like silently suffering with, I don't know, anxiety. No one knows this. And then Virginia shares a really great story or a really great post on social media talking about the connection with your gut health, your brain health, and mood and anxiety and depression, how those are so deeply connected to gut health. And then Catherine sees that, and that could be a really beautiful gift for her that she had no idea about. So there's such beauty in sharing stories and sharing things that you're learning. So if you are new here, I encourage you to just go onto Google and type in gut health and blank, and you can put in anything. See what those connections are with gut health and sleep, gut health and sinus infections, gut health and anxiety, gut health and immunity. Go and kind of get yourself excited about what you have to offer here, and start sharing what you're learning. Start sharing your story. And here's the thing too, I want to encourage you in this. Not like I've never seen anybody come brand new into Plexus doing the opportunity and being excellent in every area. So for me, the first couple of posts that I did, I had to share them with my upline, my sponsor, Tamra, beforehand and say, hey, can you give me a second set of eyes? Or I'd share it with my husband, or I'd share it with a friend that was doing Plexus too. Hey, could you look at this? I want to make sure this isn't too salesy. How does this sound? And that gave me that confidence of, okay, I need to take this out. I need to add this. Maybe this is too salesy at the end. Okay, this is really great that she's helping me with this. So having that humility to go and ask for help is super, super important. And you learn from that. So I encourage you to share your stories, but I encourage you as you are starting out, share it with your upline beforehand. A lot of times you can go and look online to see what some of the best times are to post. I'm going to give you a quick tip here. With the algorithms with social media, you only want to post at most 2 times a day. And you want to give your post at least a 5-hour gap in between the two. You don't want to be an infomercial. You can utilize your stories, and you can be doing your stories all throughout the day, but you really don't want to make more than 2 posts a day. You don't want to be an infomercial. You want people to come to your page because you add value to them, whether that's through really inspiring stories from your family, funny stories of your kids, really great recipes, DIY crafts that you've done, bargains that you've found, a scripture that has inspired you and encouraged you. Make Plexus just a part of your life. Don't make Plexus all of your life with your social media. And in general, you don't want to do that either. So sharing is super, super important. Next thing is I want to share with you about how important inviting is. Because when I tell you, hey, a huge part of this is sending out messages and inviting people to do this with you, half of you are going to hang up right now because that is scary and that's uncomfortable. But go back to what we talked about of what are you willing to be uncomfortable for? When I think about things that I'm really passionate about, such as church and God, like I'm very passionate about the Lord. And if I have a neighbor down the road who is really struggling and does not know Jesus and is lonely and is hurting, it's my job and my joy to invite her to come to church with me. It's scary. I don't know what she's going to say, but it is my job and my joy to invite her. If I don't invite her, how's she going to know? We are in a place where adding value to people and making people feel seen and loved is so vital right now with where we are in this world and this isolation, people feeling so unseen and unloved. When I tell you that it's our job, part of our job with Plexus to invite people, don't let that make you vomit. Get excited about that, because here's the thing. Tamara invited me for 4 years and I was kind of nasty. Like I didn't respond to her for months on end. Sometimes I wouldn't respond to her at all, but she believed so much in this opportunity and she believed so much in the products and she believed so much in me that she did not give up messaging, even if I was not being super kind. And I am forever grateful that she did. And that goes to be the same with almost everybody on our team. I think almost everybody on our team got an invitation to come and do this, got a message from somebody. So even if the person is not at all interested in doing the business, you have no idea what the products could do for them. You have no idea what the products could do for their family. They may have no idea about gut health or about taking probiotics. They may have no idea about if their blood sugar is spiking and dipping and what that could do to them and what it could look like to have a natural supplement that could help them balance it out. That's your job and your joy, to invite. And so in our team page, you can go, if you're not in Rising Jewels yet, have your upline invite you to Rising Jewels, and there's a search bar in there. Utilize that search bar like it is your best friend. We have so many great resources. There are so many great tips and tools and scripts and trainings. And when I say scripts, I don't mean like I want you to copy and paste, but just message examples that you can use as inspiration that you can put in your voice. There are so many things in our team page that you can use. So in the search bar, I want you specifically about messaging. I want you to type in, you could do like hashtag reach out 101, or you could do just regular typing in a keyword of script or reach out or follow up or message. There are a lot of keywords that you can use to go and find some really, really good scripts and message examples. We also have a files tab in our Rising Jewels page where you can pull it up. It is dated. I need to update that. It was from a few years ago, but it still will give you some good ideas of how to send out some good messages. I also have, gosh, it's like a 20-page, I have the spiral right here actually. It's like a 20-page set of message examples that I have just been saving and accumulating that I really like. I'm really passionate about heartfelt, others-focused messages. And so if you are serious about your business and you would like that, I would be more than happy to send that to you via email. So send me a private message on Facebook if you are serious about this business, and I will share that with you. It's a gift from me to you if that is something that you would like. So you're sharing on social media, you're inviting people. Take yourself out of that invite. Take that fear out of what people are going to think of you and make it about them. Following up with those people, and then training yourself. Like I said, no one comes into Plexus being fully sharpened in all of the skills. And if you are training yourself and sharpening your skills, growing your knowledge in how to post, how to message, how to follow up, you're learning more about the products, you're learning more about how to be a leader, how to duplicate. That's going to be your best friend. If you want change, you have to make those changes. So just like what you're doing here, like if nothing's going to change if you're not changing. So you showing up tonight is so huge, and I'm so proud of you for doing that. So now help yourself by doing some trainings. I think you could also use the search bar and type in training 101, hashtag training 101. You can go into the YouTube channel for Plexus. It's Plexus Worldwide on YouTube, and you can click subscribe. So that will be great for you. But then you can also click videos, and it will pull up all of the videos that Plexus has in their YouTube. And they have some really great educational ones about the products. They have really great stories, like 3-minute videos called Because of Plexus, that are really good short stories about people and their testimonies. So you can use that to share with your friends. Like, let's say you see a really great Because of Plexus story from a former teacher, and you have a teacher that you just think could really do amazing with this business. You could ask if she'd be open to you sending her a video that made you think of her, and you can utilize those Because of Plexus videos. So that YouTube channel is really good. You can also go to my YouTube channel, Emily Burgess, and you can type, or you can click the videos, and I have all of our videos in there, like all of our team calls, new ambassador calls, special events. Those are really, really good too. I'm going to give you a short list of people that I trained under when I was brand new. Again, I knew nothing about anything Plexus or network marketing. And so some of the people that I trained under, and again, this is go to their YouTubes, is you could do Tamara Holloway, Holloway. If somebody would mind putting this in the chat, that would be awesome. But Tamara Holloway in her YouTube. You've got Brooke Hemingway. She's amazing. She's actually a triple diamond. Diamond is the highest you can get within the company. Tamara's a diamond, I'm a diamond, Brooke's a diamond, but Brooke is a diamond times 3, which is crazy. Then you have Emily Gibson. She's amazing with her training. They're all like back to the basics. They're so, so good. There's another girl named Christina Williams. All of these are diamonds. Christina Williams, she's a former teacher. She's a 3 Enneagram. Really, really great trainer as well. Those are just a few that I'm going to give you. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I would encourage you to do 1 training a day. If you commute to work, listen to that while you are driving. If you are washing dishes, listen to a training. If you are vacuuming, put in your earbuds and listen to a training, and just start growing your skills and then putting them into action. Another thing that you could do is you could tell your upline, hey, I'm ready for this. I want to do this. And you can have them help you create an event. You could do an in-person event where you can do a sip and see, and I'm sure your upline would be more than happy to share some of her products, where you can invite some of your local friends, just very casually, like, come and try some of the pink drink. Let me show you how you make it. It's super easy. This is how you make it. This is what it helps people with. It's already starting to help me with X, Y, and Z. What do you think of the taste? Oh, it's really good, really, really tasty. Like, it doesn't have to be a fancy thing. You could just share and do a little in-person sip and see. Or you could do an online sip and see, or where you send samples to people in the mail, and you guys all open them up together on a Zoom, and you can kind of talk there about what the products do, what they're starting to do for you. talk a little bit about the opportunity. You could do an online event where you have a few of us come and do a quick live, like where we share our story for 5 minutes. Let's say you've got somebody who you know of who really struggles with PCOS. Well, we can find somebody either on our team or somebody that we're close with that has a PCOS story, and they can come and do a short live and share their story. And that can inspire your friend who has PCOS, and maybe that could give her a little bit of hope of how that could help her, how these products can help her. So like I'm saying, this is major community driven. We want to help. And so these are just some ideas of how you can get your business started. And then here's the thing, it's like a repeat cycle. Like you post, you message, you follow up, you train, do an event, repeat, repeat, repeat. It's all this beautiful cycle. Let me see. Anybody have any questions yet? Thank you, Kylie, for putting those in there. I wanted to share with you too, quickly, kind of the what the business opportunity looks like financially. So we have multiple ranks within Plexus. Your very first rank that you will hit, and I say you will because if you're on here, this is showing me that you are interested, and this is something that like maybe the Lord's laid on your heart to go and do. And so I fully believe that you can go silver. Silver is our very first rank. If you hit silver, you earn anywhere from like $200 to $400, depending on when you join and when you add 3 people. So silver is adding 3 people within a 1 month period, a 30-day period, 1 month period, where you add 3 people and then you go silver. And an average silver ambassador on average makes about $300 to $400 a month. Then you have senior silver, which is 10 people who are ordering under you. Then you have gold, and that's about 20 people ordering under you. And here's the thing, a lot of people can get to gold by themselves. A lot of people have 20 people in their network who desperately could use these products or who desperately are looking for a way to stay home making an income. So there are a lot of people that have gotten to gold by themselves. And then you start to get into the ranks where you want to start having people do this with you. You want to start having people do it with you from the very beginning, but it's harder to move forward if you don't have other people doing it with you. So that's called duplication. So that's an area that you really want to focus on too as you are growing your business. But then you have senior gold, you have ruby, senior ruby, and ruby and senior ruby average about $2,000 to $4,000 a month. And then you hit emerald. Emerald is your very first jewel position, and that is where you make about a 6-figure income. You have the option to drive a free Plexus Lexus where the company pays a stipend each month, and you are able to drive a Lexus for free. We actually have a Lexus in our garage right now, which we are so very grateful for because our cars were all dying and running down. And then you get a free trip for 2 somewhere exotic. This year it's going to be in Hawaii. And then from there you have Sapphire, that's another 6-figure income, the Lexus, but more of an income because it's a new rank. And then you have Diamond, which is the top of the company. As I was making my way to Diamond, I want to share with you a few of the things that we have received. We got a free cruise for 2 to the Florida Keys, the Bahamas. There are a few girls that are on our team that also earn that. We got like really fun, like you get little checks. So here's a $2,000 check that I made one contest. Here's a $5,000 check that I made for another contest. Like there are a lot of really, really cool ways that Plexus recognizes you through jewelry, through vehicles, through trips, through cash, I mean, multiple people on our team have earned free MacBooks and free iPads, cool like Nike tennis shoes, tumblers, shirts. Like Plexus just does a really good job of taking care of their people financially by like giving them a really beautiful compensation plan, but also by recognizing them and showing them like, hey, you're working. Let me celebrate you and recognize you with this prize, with this gift. And so that's been really, really fun for so many people on our team. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to go through this to make sure I'm not missing anybody. What does daily activity look like? So that's basically what I was saying, how you are sending messages, you are sharing a post, you are following up with people in your training, and just doing that daily. One of the things that is my absolute favorite, like kind of core of what I believe what I see with people who do well with this business comes from this really good book called Rock Your Network Marketing Business. It is by Sarah Robbins, and I'm going to read this to you because this is, to me, what I have seen in my 5 years, the most important thing to have success in this business. She says, the greatest factor that leads to success is your decision. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So make a decision, be relentless, and be committed to do whatever it takes. So that's where it is. Like 95% of your success is going to come from your mindset, knowing that you can do this. And like I shared with you up front, like this is hard, but it's worth it. Knowing that it's going to be hard, knowing what you need to do, knowing that you need to be consistent in doing those things, knowing that this is not a lottery ticket, knowing that, yes, exactly like you said, Kylie, being broke is hard. So choose your hard. This is going to give you the opportunity to reach so many of your goals, but you have to be consistent. You have to be willing. You have to hold on to those whys. You have to communicate with your upline. You have to be humble and let people help you. You have to be willing to fail and fail forward. And, you know, like my daughter, last thing I'm going to say, because I feel like I've talked way too much, but my daughter is 9 years old. We live in Idaho. We live right near a ski resort. She hadn't skied in a year, and my husband took her up a few weeks ago, and she went with some friends, and she thought she was going to be better than them. So she was willing to go because she thought she was going to be better than them. She hadn't skied all year, and she got up there, and she just kind of froze because she started to fall, and then she started to get insecure. They're better than her. They're better than she is. And so she just stopped. She stopped skiing. She was miserable. And now she's saying she doesn't want to ski anymore because she's not good. And that's kind of like what I see with people who start a business with Plexus, or with anything that they put forth a little bit of effort and then they fail forward, or they fail and, oh, it's not meant to be. I made a post on social media and nobody but my mom liked it. I don't think that I'm cut out for this. Oh, I've done this for a few months and I have not moved past silver, or I can't get anybody to do this with me, or whatever. I'm just not cut out for this. We know, especially if you're a parent, like, you know that you're not going to perfect things until you have lots and lots and lots and lots of practice. You cannot give up after a time or two of trying. You have to have that marathon mindset of, I am going to do this. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in what I'm sharing. I believe that I can help people in this, and I believe I can help my family. And I know that it's going to happen, and I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to be coachable. I'm willing to be humble, and I'm willing to be consistent, and then move forward. All right, anybody have any questions? Unmute yourself. I've got so many things I'm reading here in this chat, so unmute yourself if you have any questions here or any thoughts that you would like to add. Anybody?
I have a question, Emily.
Yes.
Where do they get those averages for the income at each level?
So who was that just asked me that? I'm so sorry.
That was Lauren Farmer.
Oh, hey,
I'm
Lauren.
asking for someone on my team.
Yeah. I don't know exact. I mean, they get it from, so like if you're a silver ambassador, I think that they take all of the silvers up into right below the gold ambassador. So if you're a silver and they're telling you what this average silver is, it is from people who are, you know, getting 15 points all the way to 99 points. And they're taking their average and dividing it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Also, will you tell us a little bit more of it? Is it like including commissions, bonuses, all of it?
Yeah. I don't know the exact answer. I just assume that it's all of it. I assume that it is your commissions, the welcome pack bonuses that you're getting. Now, they're probably not including like special bonuses, like your special monthly bonuses that they might do, like add two, get $50. Like they're probably not adding that. But I would assume that it's, your sales, your commissions, and your welcome pack bonuses.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Yes, I love that, Elaine. You said when someone can finally eat potatoes, gluten, and dairy after years of not being able to because you shared, makes the hard stuff so worth it. I'm excited for you guys. I hope that this is a place where you feel excited too. I hope that you walk away from this feeling inspired and encouraged and excited to go and share, because what I have seen in 5 years is there's so much life change that can happen out there for so many people. There are so many people who are silently suffering. I mean, let's be honest, not many people are out there just verbalizing that they haven't pooped in 10 days or that they are having a really hard season of marriage because they're in major depression or anxiety mode, or that people probably aren't really sharing publicly their struggles of financial struggles, of health struggles. And so who knows? Like, what's the best that could come from this? Like, what's the best that could happen with you inviting people, with you sharing, with you drawing your line in the sand and being consistent and being coachable? I want you to know, like I said, you are not on an island by yourself unless you allow that to happen, unless you make that happen. You have a whole group of people here who want to help you, and you have a whole lot of resources that we want to help you with. We want to share them with you. So I hope that this is helpful. If you would like my Mac Daddy of message examples, I hold this very close to my heart. I haven't even shared these with my best friends who work the business that are not on our team, because I cherish authenticity, but I'm willing to share them with you if you want this. If you want to grow your business, I would be more than happy to. So if you would like this, please send me a Facebook message with your email address, and I will put it into an email tomorrow morning. Thank you guys so much for being on. I hope that this was helpful. So thankful you guys all are here. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.